What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So, for 50 years, Super Sentai has been more or less consistent with putting out entry after entry compared to like other tokusatsu franchises. And when we talk about tokusatsu in general, of course, so one thing that people would immediately think of would be the suits. Of course, each big tokusatsu franchise has its defining feature. Like, for example, Kamen Riders have basically bug like helmets that made them distinct. The Ultraman franchise has, like alien like forms or suits that are primarily made out of rubber, typically, with a red silver mix bodysuit in general. But Super Sentai, and we can say by extension, the Power Rangers franchise, like it has become synonymous with multicolored suits worn by five or so people. And those are the suits that we're going to talk about in this video. So again, for Super Sentai's 50th anniversary, so let's talk about the evolution of suits in Super Sentai. So I am going to divide this video into three parts, basically. So first off, in this video, we're going to talk about the cotton cloth era. So the cotton cloth era basically covers the or the first 6 seasons rather, of the Super Sentai franchise, or the first 6 entries in the franchise, if you will, from Go Ranger to Goggle 5. So, like I've mentioned, these shows are the ones that use cloth. Now, thinking of cloth as a material to use in, your costumes, of course, it is a rather inexpensive material, so you can definitely make a costume, cheaply and rather quickly as well. And again, for the first 6 seasons, this has been the case. However, in my opinion, there are some drawbacks to, uh, producing cloth costumes. Again, while they are cheap and easy to produce, like for me, looking at the suits, they look kind of baggy. So they typically have a looser fit, and sometimes, especially if you use like the green suits, so most or maybe all of the Green Rangers of that era, so the green suits in general look so dark to me that in some cases, like, I could not distinguish them from the Blue Rangers of that time, to be completely honest. Like, the greens look so dull and dark that they're either too close to the blue. Again, even the blues are also dark, by the way. And yeah, like, I cannot distinguish them almost. So, like, if you look closely, you can see them. And given, like, the image quality of the time, so, we don't have, like, automatic or, like, higher resolutions, like, the ability to adjust brightness and color in, you know, the films. So definitely they don't look as good as they would or as they should on camera. But again, going back to the biggest benefit, again, like, they're probably the cheapest to obtain and to make. And yeah, uh, that's basically the benefit of cotton cloth, especially during the era. Um, while Ultraman, of course, was revolutionary for using rubber suits, given that we can more or less say thanks to Godzilla, and of course, they also had rubber suits, right? So Eiji Tsuburaya brought in his experience working with the Godzilla team and then used rubber for his suits. Now Toei, on the other hand, and basically maybe like other production companies that made tokusatsu shows, if there were, probably like, I guess the first tokusatsu hero, like Rainbow Mask, if memory serves me correct. So more likely than not, heroes of that era, uh, besides the Ultraman franchise, they used spandex, rather cotton cloth. I'm sorry, so cotton suits again, um, because of how cheap and easy to use they were. So that like very short history uh, of cotton cloth suits. Again, they were only used for 6 seasons, like I've mentioned. But even though it was the case, like even like for example, Go Kaiser trying to reminisce on things, like they did respect the suits of that time. And when the Gokaigers use the powers of like older suits like Goranger, Battle Fever, and maybe even Denji Man. So anytime that they use those powers, they still kept the cotton cloth suits. So again, while not like not the well, they're not the best. Like again, compared to later suits, which I will get to in future video. So at least they were still respectful of the origins of their predecessors, in terms of like the materials used for the suits. And well, again, they're not the best, and probably if let's say the next Super Sentai team is going to use a cloth, uh, you know, cloth based bodysuit, I don't think that's gonna fly well nowadays. It probably would be a cool nostalgia factor for, I don't know, like people who are born and raised during that cloth era of Super Sentai back in the late 70s, early 80s. But looking at, a newer generation of viewers, probably not gonna look so cool, in my opinion. Like, even I probably would say, like, what the heck is that, honestly? I mean, I'm not trying to egg on these, Showa era entries, but yeah, at least in my honest opinion, they're the least attractive. But again, the stories that the shows have set, they basically started a new trend, you would say. And again, considering how Super Sentai has been going on for like a half century, it's still impressive how, at least again for the time, like they were able to catch the attention of viewers, especially younger audiences. So yeah, that would be my take on the evolution of Super Sentai suits. This is part one in a series of 3 videos. So by the next videos, or in the next video rather, I'm going to talk about probably like the longest period of suit material, I would say, in Super Sentai history. So next time, we're going to talk about the spandex era. So if you want to see that video much sooner, let me know. So please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.